What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Rip City Rundown podcast. This is an emergency podcast that we are recording just 5 minutes after the Portland Trail Blazers have selected their 23rd overall pick. And from all signs are showing that we are going to bring in two rookies, maybe one more. Again, we're early in this. You never know what could happen over the next couple hours, next couple days. But what we know as of our recording right now is the Blazers have brought in Scoot Henderson with a third overall pick and Chris Murray with a 23rd overall pick. We'll discuss that, how we feel. We just finished our live stream, so if you're watching there, you know exactly how we feel. But before we get into it, I do want to thank MyBookie for sponsoring this and sponsoring our podcast and continually showing support. Obviously, the NBA season's over, but you can bet on many things, including MLB, golf, NASCAR, F1, tennis, a lot you can get in on over the next couple months. So make sure you use code RIPCITY if you want to get in on the betting action. The reason you should use MyBookie is because you have this code RIPCITY. You can use it when you sign up to get redeemable funds up to $1,000. So if you want a free possible $1,000, you can just go do that. And you're interested in sports betting, just go do that on MyBookie. The link's at the top of the comments below. I'm going to send it to you, West. Just initial reactions. Where are you at right now?
There are a lot of times when I'm a fan of this team and I wish I wasn't, and now's one of those times. It just is. I just wish I was not a Blazer fan. It just seems, I don't know. I watch Boston get better with Porzingis, and I watch Memphis get better with Smart, and it just seems so easy for other teams, and the Blazers want something to happen good for them for once, and nothing ever happens. And it's so hard for us to get good, and I don't know why. I don't know why GMs decided to turn into incompetent GMs. Joe Cronin has some explaining to do. You know who else we said that about every year? Neil Olshey. So
His
history repeating itself, and the night is not over. The offseason is not over. There's still time, but in this moment, where I don't care if this podcast is going to be one big bad take because in a week we make a big trade. I don't care. I'm going to be prisoner of the moment right now, and if my takes suck in a week, I don't care. Right now is it's low. I'm in a valley with no sell right now.
Yep. Kind of me too. When Charlotte drafted Brandon Miller, I was kind of excited. First of all, for those that are watching, we're all on the boat of build a team around Dame. I know a lot of people are actually happy after how today ended up with these new acquisitions moving forward. But when Brandon Miller got drafted, I knew we were getting Scoot Henderson. I was happy at that moment, just knowing how Scoot Henderson probably has more trading value than Brandon Miller, and I thought we were going to trade our pick, and obviously we didn't. We walk out of the draft with two rookies. The good one being another 6'2" undersized guard who's going to get cooked by the best NBA players on defense. That's just how it is. So at the moment, I'm a little disappointed. It's what I predicted yesterday or last podcast. I said that nothing was going to happen. I didn't want that to happen, but that was my prediction, and unfortunately, it came true. But like you said, offseason not over. Free agency starts on July 1st. A lot of things could still happen. It's too early to get too down so far. So
yeah, I'll say if obviously hindsight's 2020, but I don't know how we didn't see this coming. Other than
because we've never had a pick this high, and we've never had
it. But at the same time, we didn't make any major moves at the deadline. We didn't make any major moves in previous stops. I guess we thought it was different with Joe, which I think is we were all backing Joe. We were backing him after the bad trade deadline this past trade deadline because we were like, it's building towards the summer. And we were backing him because he said, we're going to build around Dame. We want to try to win now. And again, he could have something wild up his sleeve. And I hope and pray. But we said at the beginning of that stream, the shirt Cody's wearing, will it be a current shirt you can buy right now, or will it be an antique by the end of the night? We were pretty sure it's going to be an antique because it has Anthony Simons on the back. And I thought we were going to make a big splash and go get someone now. And we'll get into it throughout the podcast on why things didn't happen or why things possibly could have happened or all that. But I just need answers right now. And we're recording this as of 7:51 Pacific time. So the first round still isn't even over. So by the time this comes out, this could be completely changed. By the time you see this, you could have seen Joe Cronin's answers and it could be different. We'll have more content coming out over the next couple of days to try to give you updated opinions throughout this. But again, as of 7:51 Pacific time, I am at a loss for words, and I don't know where this franchise is going, because it seems like right now we're trying to straddle two lines. Don't like that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm mostly just confused, angry with kind of other teams, and it just doesn't really make sense from their perspective. I mean, you look at all these trades go through with the Celtics, the Suns, the Warriors, Chris Paul, but just like I feel like the Nets and the Raptors were two big trading targets and the Pelicans, obviously that didn't happen. That's separate though, but just I feel like those were two big trading targets, and none of them, I guess, just I don't know what happened. I guess had the balls to do, like, we offered the third pick, Scoot Henderson, and Anthony Simons to Brooklyn, a team that just got swept, a team that just lost Kevin Durant, a team that will be tanking for years on, most likely, a team that has Mikal Bridges, an amazing trading, a win now player that you can give to another team in return and get some incredible young talent. They turned us down. And then we got Toronto, who's saying Siakam now wants to stay in Toronto. And it's just all confusing because Toronto should blow it up. Obviously, they won their ring 3 years ago. No reason for them to like be good and bad at the same. It's just confusing by other teams. Gotten lucky, I think, too.
I think we as a podcast, we as a group here had faith in Joe and had faith in this team this time around, because there seemed to be not only was Joe Cronin like the new kid on the block, so just like new perspective, but also just the messaging and everything from day one has been built around Dame. So why would we just Joe Cronin's not gonna come in and promise us that, and I'm just gonna be like, nah, he's lying. Like, I'm gonna give him a shot. I trusted him. And if building around Dame is drafting his replacement and a 22-year-old rookie, I mean, I don't know.
You have some explaining to do if that's the case.
You have some explaining to do, and that's why even though it'll be midnight when his media thing comes out, and I have to get up kind of early, I'll be watching it. I will be watching it. Yeah, I'm just sorry. I was just checking Twitter to see if anything, but honestly,
I don't know.
It's not like the Blazers are going to make a move. Yeah, Cody, and just to touch what you said about it's confusing. It is confusing because I don't understand why other teams aren't. I don't know. I feel like Anthony and Anthony and number 3 is an overpay for Mikal Bridges. It's an overpay. The Blazers would be the quote unquote in 6 years. The Blazers would lose that trade. Yet Brooklyn doesn't want to do it. For what? Why? Like, you got GMs, dude. GMs, these self-absorbed people who, okay, I don't want to personally go at certain GMs. It's just, you're right, Cody. I don't understand, man.
I'll ask the question, and I guess we don't know answers to this, but you could look on the side of, if you're wanting to build around Dame, you can still trade these picks, I guess. I just don't really see a world why you would wait until after you officially draft them. So I think it's obviously more likely than not that Scoot's going to be on the roster to start the year. And I want to get on the forefront of this. I think people that watch us and know how we stand. No, we are not Scoot haters by any means, or we're not Chris Murray haters. I think he's going to be a great player. I think he's going to be an all-star. I also know that the best player on your team right now is an all-star point guard. So that's not a team need. And I think maybe there weren't options out there. And it's going to suck if that's the answer from Joe Cronin, but he very well could be telling the truth. Because if it's true that the Nets didn't accept a trade for Mikal when there was a clear overpay by us, if it's true that Zion was never actually offered in a trade and New Orleans was trying to move up with 14 and future assets, if it's true that Jaylen Brown is truly going to stay in the Celtics uniform and all these guys, if it's true that Pascal wasn't going to resign, then yeah, Joe Cronin did the right thing because he made the offers, but he also didn't settle. And that's just sad. That's unfortunate because why is it this year of all years that no one is willing to trade up for what everyone says is a generational prospect? It just makes no sense. It really doesn't.
Nope. Just sad tone going on there now.
I got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
Do you really think Dame, Scoot, Ant, and Shaden will be on the opening night roster? It sounds ludicrous, but I can't put anything past this franchise at this point.
I think it's a really high chance, unfortunately. Just looking at that real quick, Scoot, Dame, Simons, those are all 6'2", 6'3", tiny guards. Sharp, 6'5" at best, guard. That defense against some of these players in the NBA, Giannis, Jokic, Embiid, it would just be like night and day, demoralizing. It would be awful. It would be we would drop 150 points. We would get 150 points dropped on our head. Probably like 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, if that's the starting.
Look, the basketball on mind in me says no chance we start the season. No chance that we start the season with these 4 guards on our roster. I don't know honestly, I think Sharp's the most likely to be on the roster. I think at this current moment, it's Simons is most likely to be gone, then probably Dame, then Scoot. Maybe it's Scoot, then Dame. I don't know. I really don't. But
how about Damian Lillard's future?
If the trade hasn't gone down now, what's the thing that's holding it back?
It's scary.
Is it
Dame?
We're too stubborn? Is it other teams are too stubborn? We're hoping that just over time that changes. Is it players aren't available? They wanted to wait until exactly they know what players they were going to get? Maybe that's it.
The thing that pains me a little bit, actually a lot, it's the main part is I just feel bad for Dame, man. I really do. And again, we asked this: would I rather have the Blazers win a championship without Dame, or have an opportunity? Like I want team. I'm team first, but at the same time, you have a top 75 player of all time. And he's committed to your small market crap city organization. Let's not act like Portland's a appealing destination. When's the next time, like genuinely, the Blazers will have a top 75 player of all time?
Probably not.
Not because no one wants to come to Portland.
Odds are saying not in our lifetime.
I went.
That's what I'm saying. Like Scoot is. If Scoot becomes a multi-time All-Star alone, that's huge. Scoot could become Bradley Beal.
Yep. I mean,
and what I want to say is to all the just uninformed people and people that have their agendas in the comments, when we say we want to keep Dame, that's not a Dame first thing. That's still team first because we believe we have our best chance to win a championship with Damian Lillard. I really don't understand how you can't think that. Now, you can argue we have a better chance at sustained success over the next 10 years without Damian Lillard, but that's what we've done for the last 10 years. I think we have the best chance to win a championship by trading for a star and partnering him with Damian Lillard. That's not riding Damian Lillard. That's riding for the Trailblazers.
Okay.
Am I out of line with that? Riding four. I made sure to add the 4.
It's just a repeating cycle. Let's say we do trade Dame and Scoot Henderson becomes our all-star point guard the next 7 years. Let's say he gets 31 years old. He's in his prime, and we get a lottery pick. What are we going to do? Take the lottery pick again and redo the same thing, start over again, or actually build around him? It's just like Dame's a guaranteed top 75 player all-star because no one else is coming to Portland. That's going to be a top 75 player. I went to Portland today for a doctor appointment, and I got yelled at by a homeless lady. It's just not going to happen.
Dude, well, look, I think to be a little more specific, no all-star is going to come to Portland via free agency. It has to be via trade.
Yeah,
and when
draft, but, you know,
Joe Cronin has, and credit to him, they hit on the Sharp pick, they hit on the Simons pick, the chances they hit on the Scoot pick, but you gotta turn it into something here. That's the whole point of team building. Not everyone is just going to find the greatest center in the league with the 41st pick in the draft like Denver did.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not going to happen. You have to be, when you're a small market team, you can't just hold on to your assets and your talent like they're the best thing in the league, because they're not. There's a reason why teams ahead of, Sharp didn't take Sharp, and there's a reason why, I don't know. The point is Blazer fans overvalue we do it too. We overvalue our assets so much. We overvalued CJ, and that's why people got upset that CJ netted us Didi Luzada. It was more, obviously. It ended up being Jeremy Grant. The point I'm trying to make is you have to acquire talent, and then you have to cash the chips in. You it's like poker, acquire the chips, cash them in. Like, what's the point? You're just going to keep stock. It's what the Nets are doing right now. They're just stockpiling talent. Like, for what? You're not. You have Boston, who's better than you. Miami just went to the finals. And by the way, Brooklyn, if Brooklyn doesn't want to give us Mikal Bridges and make Dame happy, Dame's going to go to the Heat, and now you don't have a championship window for the next 10 years. So good job, Brooklyn. Did it to yourself.
Look, here's where I'm at. If you're trading Dame and if you're going this a youth route, you got two guys that you would probably say have potential to be future stars, and that's Scoot and that's Sharp. Say one of those pans out to be a star, like true star, top 20 player in the league. Okay, so where do you go from there? You have your top 20 player in the league. You're going to be in the same position in 10 years probably. What's making you think that we're suddenly going to be able to build a team around Scoot if we haven't built a team around Dame? And then my other thing is, if we're trading Dame and everyone's like, just build around Anthony, build around Scoot and Sharp, that's 3 guards. That's what we've been doing for the last 10 years. Why is it any different?
We've been saying the same thing since 2016.
Outside of Steph, how many guards who are the best for our team have led their team to a championship?
No one. The Blazers have had guards I was like 5'1" probably, and we've been saying since that time till now, the Blazers need to get big players and not go down this guard route.
I was
listening
to
7th grade.
I was listening
7th grade.
I was listening to the first podcast between the three of us, 2021, where Cody had his stutter and no one knew how to talk in front of a mic. And we were saying, if we go into the next offseason with the same team, this offseason is a failure. We need to make a swing. And we are 2 years later, and we still have not made a swing. It blows my mind. And it's 2 GMs later, too.
Dude, that's crazy. That is crazy to me. Yeah. I mean, well, I'm speechless, first of all, and I'm being careful on what I can say and what I can't say on a family friendly show, because I am just very upset right now. But yeah, we're doing a youth movement, even though the Trailblazers as a franchise put out a presser saying we're here to build around our franchise player.
Literally everything, even the small things. Even when the ticket sales came out for Blazer games, it was like, come check us out next year and buy tickets to watch us build a team around Damian Lillard. Even from little things like that to big things like our whole organization. So what was that movement called?
Dude, I don't know. I'm lost. Look, maybe Joe Cronin and the entire front office has a spell over Damian Lillard that's going to convince him to stay and convince him that this is a championship.
That's the point I was going to make.
Shot.
What about Dame's future too? After today, Dame's chance of being a Blazer has gone down drastically.
But that's the sad thing I feel like about this thing. This whole situation is Dame is probably going to stay, which is great for us. But the Blazers are like using Dame's loyalty against him to be like, I can do my job horribly and he'll still stay because he's loyal. It's like, honestly, I've written so much about Dame's loyalty. I think he gets no credit at all from the national media, and I can only admire him. But at the same time, bro, like, I every single year, every single situation when we didn't swing, when we signed Anthony Tolliver as our prize free agent, we signed Nick Stauskas as our prize free agent. I was like, Dame needs to stay loyal. We're going to figure this out. This is the first time if Dame walked, I'd be fine with it. I'd understand it, dude.
Yeah. And if we like Damian Lillard, like it's just, I'm so mad. Okay. I'm gonna try to say this without cussing. No, I'm not going to cuss. Damian Lillard, right? He helps our team drastically. So if we're going to go down the strong young route, leaving Dame on the team, not trading him, is gonna hurt us, and here's why. Because if you have the young players and you have Damian Lillard, you're never gonna be good enough, but you're gonna be to that that middle spot where you have a bad lottery pick. It's you either go one way or you either go for it or you don't go for it. And if you build this young team and Dame stays, from a team perspective, that's bad. The better thing to do in this case from a team perspective would be to trade Dame and then build young if we were to go down that route. But
Yep.
That's just because if Dame stays, we're not going to be the worst seed in the league or the second worst. We're going to be like the third or fourth worst team in the West.
No, I bet you if Dame stayed, we'll be fine for the play-in next year if it all stays healthy.
We could be a play-in team. It's just
and
bad.
What Wes said. Maybe Joe Cronin wants to leave a legacy as a 2-time Summer League champion. Maybe that's what he wants to do as a Blazer GM. And if that's the case, say it, buddy. We'll write it down. We'll say, okay, our season is in July. Once it comes around in October, we'll stop the channel. We'll chill. But we're gonna go crazy in July. Maybe that's the case.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I want to be professional and serious about this. Let's put our logic hat on right now. Let's just be logical. Let's be professional. Let's be sensible. Let's be optimistic a little bit here. Where do the Blazers go from here, and how can they make this team better?
Okay, let me start from here. I just saw this and I wanted to say it. So we draft Chris Murray at 23. I don't think people expected Chris Murray to go top 20. So you have to think the Blazers knew he was going to be available at 23. The Blazers brought in like 20 guys in the late first round, early second round window to possibly draft. And Chris Murray wasn't one of those. So we just drafted Chris Murray without having a workout with him. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing. But I find that quite intriguing that we're drafting a rookie that we haven't seen play in person. Maybe that's a sign of a bad GM. Maybe that's a sign of a GM that just can cook. Maybe he's cooking right now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, professional hat on. Scoot Henderson. We're getting a generational prospect. Again, generational prospect is different than generational player. So I do want to hold the phone on everyone saying that Scoot Henderson is a lock all-star. But he's a great player. And as of now, he's on our roster. And from a talent perspective, we got better tonight. Now, this could be a domino effect that a talent perspective in 2 days, we could look back on this and say, well, actually, we got worse because this forced Dame out. So.
But I know what you mean.
It's not NBA 2K. It's like growth is not guaranteed and linear. When you have the guys, you try to win with them now.
I'm really happy about Scoot. I'll be optimistic. Like I think from the best thing to do from a team standpoint, like I said, would be to trade Dame if we were to go down this young route. Like I said, that's not what I want to do. But anyway, Scoot reminds me of kind of like Westbrook, but like a better shooter. You know, he's athletic and he's really strong for how short he is. Like his pound per inch weight ratio or whatever it's called, it's probably really high.
Pound for pound?
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
It's not called that though. Anyway, he reminds me of Westbrook, but a better shooter. Obviously, Westbrook was an MVP in 2016, so like he gives me those type of vibes, and I think he can turn into that type of player. I didn't watch him as much as I wish in college, but
yeah, well, given he didn't go to college, I didn't watch him in college either.
I mean, the G League. But still.
I think one fascinating thing about this whole situation is presumably the amount of just open communication that probably Joe and Dame have had. Like you've got to think Dame's known that if there's the reports that him and Scoot have been communicating regularly. So if I'm just being logical, Dame's probably known about us having a real chance of drafting Scoot for a little bit now. So you think he's okay with it?
There's zero chance that Dame didn't know what was going to happen. It's either he knows and he's okay with it, or he knows and the Trailblazers are okay with them trading Dame at some point. Unless Joe Cronin again is some generational liar and says and is completely lying about his communication with Dame every day. So I think we can confirm that.
We have two sides.
our roster right now, Dame's on the roster. So
Yeah.
let's react to this if this was our roster this year, because I think that's the most realistic thing. And let's
can't be,
go
dude.
to what
There's
we
no
know.
way.
Scoot has his press conference, and he said on why Dame should stay in Portland. He said, if we combine our games, it'll be over. And then he also says, I'm going to pick Chauncey's brains so much he might get annoyed. I'm going to learn so much from him. So
It might be over. Over for us. On the defensive end. Just kidding.
No, but I keep coming back to the question of can Dame and Scoot coexist? And then not only do I think of that, but then I'm like, oh, wait, we also have Anthony Simons and Shaden Sharp. It just, look, I'm going to say right now, this roster's not finished. And if Joe Cronin has finished this roster, I will pack his bags for him. Okay. Because
if this is our roster, he's fired by Christmas. Like,
if this is our roster, if this is our, if we've tanked 2 years to draft two generational prospects, two insane guards, and we already have a top 75 guard of all time and one of the best young guards. They can't all play, bro. One's got to go.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
I put on Twitter, I said, I'm genuinely shocked right now. I need answers. And everyone's like, what do you need answers about? Well, what's the issue? I need answers about what direction the franchise is going. I need answers on is Dame okay with this? I need answers on how is four guards going to work. I need answers on why is Nurkic still on the team.
That's true. We need to remember that most people are happy with this. Maybe less than half. What percentage of Blazer fans are happy right now?
I don't know.
I think that 50%.
I know that 0% of Blazer fans on this podcast right now are happy though.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, one interesting note about this whole thing is the CBA deal, Cole. That has not been finalized, so teams don't really know. Is it salary cap oriented? What they don't know?
I guess just maybe trade rules.
Yeah, so that's something that's getting finalized soon. So there was reports, rumors that teams were very hesitant to do anything until the CBA is finalized. I don't know if that's true or if that's just being BS propaganda that Joe is using to save his behind. I'm not sure. Right? It's really in this very moment right now. It's hard. It's hard to have faith in Joe Cronin. It's kind of Cole. We make comparisons to it all the time. It's like the PGA players having to be like, I still have faith in Jay Monahan. But do they?
Look, I'll have faith in Joe Cronin if he comes out and says we're moving on from Dame, we're gonna rebuild, and we're gonna try to build around these guys. Then at least I know your answers.
That would suck, but yeah.
That just doesn't make sense because of how much they've talked and how much he has said.
Agreed.
My goal is to build a team around Dame. I don't understand how he would just go. But okay, the overarching thing is Jody Allen needs to sell the freaking team.
Maybe this is Jody holding Joe Cronin handcuffed and saying, I'm not paying a max contract for a star. I'm only paying a rookie salary. That's the possibility. Maybe
Blazers,
I don't know.
The Blazers in every way, shape, and form have informed me that Damian Lillard will be a Blazer next season. So the actions to go along with those words that have happened so far are just extremely suspicious and confusing and make me want to just ask so many questions because it just doesn't make sense. If you're going to keep Dame, you're saying this through every way, through your social media account, to little things or big things that the GMs are saying, and then to do nothing so far, at least June 22nd, 2023, after A, the trade deadline to end last season, and B, through the lottery all the way up until the NBA draft and post NBA draft, and still have done nothing. It's just confusing, and we'll see during free agency. That's the last run before anything can happen before the season starts, and we see our team in October. So,
speaking of free agency, let's go ahead and take some predictions on who will be our trash signing this year.
Well, we can go ahead and limit it to guards, so that's a good way to start. I think
it's going to be like DeLon Wright.
Which honestly, if we didn't have a bunch of guards, fine pickup. But I don't want to sign any more guards. Look, genuinely, do you think by the time we're together, we're still going to have all 4 guards on the roster? That's a hard question because
It's hard to give a prediction.
There's no reason. Well, you're good at predictions, Cody, since you just predicted what we're going to do exactly.
Oh, I got
honestly,
one in a
the
row
best
right.
prediction is just to stay where you're at. Just say we're going to do nothing.
All right, well, we're going to do nothing. That's my non-jinxing way of saying I hope something happens. But
and to those saying, well, we did something, we drafted
a
really good point guard. You're right.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to be consistent with how I view this team. I'm going to put on the rose-colored glasses. Joe Cronin. I have faith. He's going to do something.
What is he going to do?
Get out of here, West. Leave the Zoom meeting.
I'm being serious.
Go on another walk.
No. This is why I'm doing it for y'all. I'm going to say he makes a move. So if on the very rare chance he does, and I can be like, we saw it coming.
Yeah.
I expect a trade, but it doesn't happen like that. Like, it just has to be perfect.
Something has to happen. You can look the 4 guards thing. We can beat that drum. We can beat that dead horse. I don't know.
And look. Maybe if we weren't a YouTube channel,
beat it.
Maybe if we weren't a YouTube channel, we'd be a little happier about going young. But like, we've been on these podcasts, these videos, the last 3 years. You said it in the stream, Cole. All talking about what ifs. What if this happens? What if this happens? Who are the Blazers going to trade for? How are we going to get better? How are we going to get better? When you think of podcasts on NBA teams, you're analyzing games. You're talking about defensive rotations that you got to adjust in the playoffs. You're talking about who's available in the next round, who needs to lose, who needs to win, so you can get your seating position that you want in the playoffs. You're talking about all of that. And we're all just talking about trades. And if Dame's gone and we go down this young route, boys, it could be a really boring next 2 years of this YouTube channel, unfortunately.
Well, look, it's not about us. It's about Dame. It's about the Blazers. And
I know, but I'm just saying.
But for all the people who are saying that, let's just rebuild and wait for Denver, to have their window, and then the Suns, blah blah blah. Last time I checked, Damian Lillard almost beat the Nuggets single-handedly. Imagine giving him one All-Star with him.
Please.
It's not even. I just want to see what he can do.
You're muted, Cole. You're unplugged.
Yeah, Cole, you're muted. You're muted. Gosh, dude's just talking, bro.
I don't know if we're gonna cut that, but anyway, what were you saying, Wes? Yeah, like we can't.
We're not cutting that.
Oh, he's back. Hey, he had a nice point going. He was doing.
Well, what I was saying is, it was off of your point. It was. I thought 2 years ago we were like, "Ooh, our window's now. Golden State is finally done. Now's the window. It's wide open." Like, there's always going to be a great team. You're always going to have to get over a great team, just because like
the NBA isn't even the most competitive right now. Denver's a great team, but I think some of these past championship teams would beat them. That's just a bad way to look at it. You always need to just try to win if you have the resources to do it. Obviously, that's the point of basketball, to win the championship. That's what players want to do. That's their whole job, their whole goal. I'm just a little disappointed. You guys work on Twitter.
It's Joe Cronin going into the practice facility tomorrow.
Wait, what?
Wait, let's try the password again, Joe. Come on, let's go see our new players. Let's go see Dame. Or that's Dame. They're gonna kick Dame out. Look.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna get every comment on this. And Cody, I know you're gonna want to respond to comments. I don't think we should respond to a single comment on this podcast. We are on, I think, the opposite side of the public. I think people love Scoot, and again, I can say it again, but people aren't going to hear it.
Scoot.
They're just going to hear the things that they want to respond to in a negative sense. Hold on. Shams just.
You guys just had the same
Shams
face.
said he's going to report on Damian Lillard and the Trailblazers soon.
Oh God.
Whatever that means. But basically, what I was saying is,
you guys are scaring me.
We're on the opposite side of this. Everyone's going to disagree with us, and that's what just comes with having a public opinion. I'm going to stick by what I believe. And if it ends up being that Dame is gone, I'm going to root for Dame hard in his new place. I'm still going to be a Blazer fan first. I'm going to love Scoot Henderson if he's still on this team. I'm going to root for Chris Murray.
Oh no. We will root for this team, and guess what, guys? We might win 20 something games next year, and we're gonna grind content out for you guys because we love this team. It's a passion. And guess what? Guess what, everybody? Collard, is there something that needs to be said?
No, I'm hearing what Shams is saying about Dame. He's reporting. You guys continue.
Yeah, what are you saying, Wes? It looks like
Um,
you're looking too. I'm just gonna say, as a fan, like we're always gonna support this team. And the second October starts, tip off of game 1 of the season, we're gonna all be on the same page again, just rooting for this team. It's just that us three and some people in the comment section of our YouTube channel have a different perspective on what we should do with Damian Lillard. That's fine. I mean, Damian Lillard was my guy, my favorite player growing up, still is. So maybe I'm a little biased towards him. I'll admit it, but I generally think building around Dame's the smartest decision. But we'll see what happens, and whatever product that Joe Cronin puts on the floor, we're gonna grind with and support. And it is what it is, no matter what.
Basically, all Shams just said was that Dame is he thinks Dame's gonna wait until the end of free agency to see exactly what Portland does before making a decision. So just same old, same old.
Okay.
But again, Chris Haynes said earlier today that this is the closest Dame's ever been to thinking about asking out, and it's truly an option. And Chris Haynes is always right when it comes to Damian Lillard stuff. So
the one thing
I think in 6
say,
months when people realize that we're 4-11 and Scoot Henderson's struggling as a rookie, because all rookies do, and Dame's thriving on Miami, people are gonna really. I don't think people are gonna stay on the same block. I mean, unless
well, the one thing I'll
perfectly for the
say is
Blazers.
we are massive Blazer fans, and we will support the team no matter what. Is the unfortunate thing, because right now as in this current moment, the future looks bleak, but things can change. We have to stay optimistic. We have to. I can't believe I'm saying this, but you just gotta trust because Joe Cronin, his goal is to build a team around Damian Lillard. That is what he said. I'm holding the man to his word. I hope he's not a scumbag. I don't think he is, but you don't know. So we're gonna support the Blazers in every way we can. We're gonna crank out content for you guys, and it will make that championship one day that much sweeter. And honestly, it's about the journey, okay? It's not about the end result. It's about the journey, guys.
Wait,
okay?
which championship are you talking about? Like NBA or Summer League?
Good.
I mean, it's gonna be exciting, dude. Summer League's gonna be hype.
Summer League will be hype. We'll have a good Summer League team. We should, at least, with all these young aspects, and talent. But we'll see.
Joe Cronin's gone.
Then Damian Lillard's gonna FaceTime our 23rd pick, Chris. What's his name?
Murray.
Chris Murray. He's gonna be like, "You guys win? Cool."
Yeah, and we're gonna get so hyped because we're gonna be hyped about some rookies, and then again, for all the people that think rookies are great, like what did Sharp do when we were actually trying to win?
Just think. Shaden Sharp played insane, exceeded our expectations. He played amazing. We were the third worst team in the West, despite all that. So it's like, if you're going into next year this young, nothing will happen.
Yeah, like Sharp, sure, he averaged 20 points, and we lost every game when he scored over 20, probably. Yep. But in the first 30 games of the season, when we were actually competing, Sharp didn't average double-digit points. Like rookies just don't do that. They don't contribute to winning from the jump.
And Dame wants to contend now.
Yeah,
and it's tough, man. Joe Cronin came in a very difficult spot. I would not want to be the Blazers GM right now. He has an impossible job. But he's still got to do the best job he can, and I feel like he has some room to grow in that regard right now.
Yep.
Also, Shams can just actually just buzz
dude.
Off,
I bet his ego's so high because he beat Woj in all the picks tonight because Woj actually has a job on TV. Shams is just on Twitter live streaming. He doesn't even have a job on TV. But we don't need to go into Shams right now. I have nothing else. I don't think there's anything else we can say that's informed and quality until we know more from Joe Cronin, and video tomorrow on that, I guess.
Yeah. I will be kind of off the grid for the next until Sunday. So I'm going to take a well-needed Blazer break. I'm going to go do things that actually make me happy in life.
And
Ouch.
obviously, a week from today, we'll be all together, and I think that's when the takes will be at its all-time high. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I think I'm going to take that advice, West. I'm going to go enjoy myself tomorrow morning. I'm going to go hit some golf balls. Hopefully I go low. Hopefully. A good thing that I'm playing early in the morning because we know Joe Cronin doesn't get up until 11 o'clock because it's not like he's making deals in the dark because, I mean, he doesn't make deals. So he doesn't make the deals in the dark or in the day. So
Oh my God.
again, I'm sorry. I'm not.
Just jokes.
I'm not sorry.
Wait, Cody, it's a week until we see you, right? A week?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Dame a Blazer in a week?
I hope so, man. Yeah, he is.
Yeah. The real question is Dame a Blazer throughout?
Here's the thing. If we're doing all these trades, right? We're doing all these trades. They can't happen. The Brooklyn trade can't happen. The Toronto trade can't happen. All these trades can't happen. The Dame trade better not happen. How about that? Can that one not happen? Because realistically, if we're trading Dame, it's gonna be a hard package.
A what?
Never mind, West. All right. That's the end of the
Look,
podcast.
the real question is, and I think this is a genuine question, is Damian Lillard a Blazer throughout our entire Montana trip?
Yes.
I
So
hope
post free agency,
They'll ruin it if he's
Dude.
gone.
especially with the hard package that it would be to get to trade him.
Well, the media, no one ever
Pause.
talks about the media doesn't entertain any deals where players are going to Portland. They only entertain Dame leaving because they just literally, that's what, I can't say that.
Oh, and we can just like say this. We said it on the live stream. If it is indeed the Heat that Dame gets traded to, I can't wait. I hope you guys are excited for Kyle Lowry, guard, Tyler Hero. What's that, Cody? What position does he play?
I think he's a guard.
Caleb Martin? Oh, wait. Maybe he plays power forward. That's what he played for the Heat, but he's 6'3", so he's really a
Guard.
And you're super ecstatic for the 25th overall pick for the next 4 years. That's going to make us better. Okay. Anything else we got, guys?
No, man.
Let's just digest all this information and
I'll be dropping a video either tomorrow or Saturday, and it'll
I'll be
much
dropping
more
a video.
informed. It'll be much more just level-headed. This was obviously reactionary, and it wasn't what we wanted to happen tonight. Our takes could change in 3 days. So don't hold us exactly to this. If you would disagree with us, you disagree with us, you can.
The one thing I'll say is in Joe Cronin's defense, and we got to hear him talk. So I can't really come to his defense yet, but from what it sounds like, New Orleans was offering chump change and lowballing the crap out of an offer for number 3. I heard it was the 14 pick plus future assets, and Joe Cronin rightfully should say no, and he did. So I want to give him props for that. And you can't control how stupid other GMs are going to be. If Sean Marks or Bobby Marks, Sean Marks is GM of the Nets. If Sean Marks thinks that Mikal Bridges is worth more than a 24-point per game scorer, who basically already is Mikal, minus the defense, but you add a generational prospect, then he can go live in his la-la land, and that's fine. Okay? Joe Cronin can't control what GMs do, and either what sounded like it was an unfortunate, the most imperfect storm where either teams like the Pelicans their offers were just utter dog, and or the Blazers offered an overpay for certain players and the GMs had their head up, you know what? So what are you going to do?
Yep. All right.
That's all we got, guys. This was an emergency impromptu podcast, but you knew it was coming out. So hope you enjoyed it. Give us your thoughts on the draft and what you think. Let us know in the comments. I'll read them. I might not respond to all of them, but I just would love to see what the common Blazer fan thinks about tonight. So do that. Go follow our Instagram and Twitter for more of our thoughts and more Blazer information. And we will see you guys for a podcast next Wednesday and for more videos over the weekend. So thanks, guys. Peace.